the Chi-Town experience on the flight. Let me go tune in to Keek on the mic. He gon' make sure we get our news and highlights. When you get on YouTube, you better hit the like.
This Chicago Bears Hall of Fame legend had some bold comments about Caleb Williams. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. So, Bears fans, I hope you guys are ready for a really great weekend. I hope you guys are also having a really good Friday. I am not sure if you guys have recently seen the interview with Chicago Bears Hall of Fame legend Brian Urlacher as he went on to Johnny Manziel's podcast. And obviously the topic of discussion was a little bit of the Chicago Bears, but mostly about second-year quarterback Caleb Williams. And they were just talking about all the rookie quarterbacks, about Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, and then they got onto the subject of Caleb Williams. And you know, there's this persona right now that Caleb Williams had a bad rookie season with the Chicago Bears, even though he threw for over 3,500 yards, had 20 passing touchdowns to only 6 interceptions. But what overshadowed the success of Caleb Williams was, one, the expectations of the number 1 overall pick, probably outplaying Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix, and obviously the situation that he was in with Matt Eberflus, Shane Waldron, and the rest of the lame duck coaching staff in the Chicago Bears organization last season. And then, of course, being sacked 68 times was the cherry on top for the people from the outside looking in that were saying that Caleb Williams had a bad rookie year. But Brian Urlacher on Johnny Manziel's podcast made a very bold claim that he felt that Caleb Williams could have easily won Rookie of the Year last year if he was in a better coaching situation. Check this out, Bears fans.
He's going to be really good. You know, I think if you maybe put him in a different position, a different situation last year, I think he could have been Rookie of the Year. You know, what Kingsbury did with Jaden Daniels in the Redskins, and what Bo Nix did out with Sean Payton in Denver. So maybe get a different
I feel like this
people
system,
around him.
These coaches will be better for him last year. You know, obviously your coach doesn't even make it through the season.
So much turmoil going on there.
A lot of turnover.
That goes back to the Lovey thing. It's been the last 13 years since they got rid of Lovey. It's been that way every year. There's been no consistency in the coaching department, and it's not the players' fault. It's just the way it goes. Well, maybe it is the players' fault because they haven't won, so they can't keep a coach. But Ben Johnson's the man. I love that hire. I think he'll do a great job with Caleb. They got some talent on the. Sign some guys up front to protect Caleb, and they've always had the receivers, so I think that's going to be a good thing for him.
Yeah.
Bears fans, I don't know about you, but I definitely agree with Brian Urlacher. And first things first, I have to address this because my dad and I talk about this all the time. He brought up the fact when the Bears fired Lovie Smith, and then, you know, the Bears are basically cursed ever since they fired Lovie Smith, and it's just been all turmoil since then, and I definitely agree with that assessment. But when you think about Brian Urlacher's comments, you have to reflect on the stats of Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix and why people probably feel that Caleb Williams was technically a failure compared to those guys, even though the stats speak otherwise. We look at the stats of Jaden Daniels, threw for 35, 68 yards, 25 passing touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. Obviously had a 12-5 record, won Rookie of the Year, and took his team to the NFC title game. So obviously that carries a lot of weight when you're looking at the success of Jaden Daniels in his first year and Caleb Williams. Then you go to Bo Nix from the Denver Broncos, threw for 3,775 passing yards, 29 passing touchdowns to only 12 interceptions, and also had a winning record with a 10-7 record. And then you look at Caleb Williams, 3,541 passing yards, 20 passing touchdowns to only 6 interceptions. And obviously the Chicago Bears had a losing record at 5-12. The one thing that I want to make very clear on today's episode of Keek on the Mic, yes, Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix, right? Both took their teams to the playoffs. Also, once again, Jaden Daniels was 1 game away from the Super Bowl, won Offensive Rookie of the Year. Bo Nix took the Denver Broncos with a 10-7 record to the wild card round. They didn't get past the wild card round, but both of those quarterbacks made the NFL playoffs. So yes, in that stance, they had a better season than Caleb Williams because overall, the team success they were able to take their teams to the playoffs. But once again, we have to understand that it doesn't only take one person to get your teams to the playoffs. And that's where my point on today's episode of Geek on the Mic needs to be made. When you look at the situation of Jaden Daniels and both Bo Nix, they were in better overall situation compared to Caleb Williams. Of course, with Jaden Daniels of the Washington Commanders, he had Dan Quinn as his head coach, which to me is one of the better coaches overall in the National Football League. And of course, he had Cliff Kingsbury as his OC. So they really built that offense around Jaden Daniels to play to his strengths. And obviously, it worked out in his rookie season as he helped lead the Washington Commanders to the NFC title game. But obviously having that stability on that coaching staff in year one for Jaden Daniels was vital for success and development with the Washington Commanders. Same goes for Bo Nix of the Denver Broncos. He has head coach Sean Payton, probably one of the better offensive coaches in the National Football League. He is a former Super Bowl champion of New Orleans Saints. Obviously, him and Bo Nix have really worked well together with their blunt and transparent style, really helping Bo Nix get to the second level. And I really think that Bo Nix is in for a monster second year with the Denver Broncos. So what is the difference between Caleb Williams' situation compared to Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix' situation? They both have stability in their coaching staff, talking about last season, compared to Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams was dealing with Matt Eberflus. He was dealing with Shane Waldron. He was dealing with a very crappy O-line, and his stats still compared very well to the stats of both Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels. So the only thing that was different about these three guys is the fact that they had winning records and went to the NFL playoffs in their rookie season. But once again, record is a team stat. Obviously, the way the quarterback plays can really dictate a winning or losing record, but we have to understand that they had more stable situations in their coaching staff. So that's where Brian Urlacher makes a really solid point that, yes, I also believe if Caleb Williams was in a better situation, then yeah, he could have very well competed up there for maybe offensive rookie of the year, because obviously you had a coach like Ben Johnson that would have put Caleb Williams in better situation to succeed. His stats would have probably been even better. But once again, I like to echo that Caleb Williams, with all that he has dealt with, for him to be able to throw for 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions with the situation that he was in is very impressive. So that's why when you fast forward, you think about what Ryan Poles has been able to accomplish this offseason with hiring Ben Johnson, that's going to, take Caleb Williams to the next level and develop him the right way, and the coaching staff that Ben Johnson brought here to the Chicago Bears to really help develop him the right way. You think about what they did with the offensive line. You think about the additions on the outside in the NFL draft. You think about even on the defensive side of the ball, bringing in Dennis Allen, they're bringing in the defensive players they brought in, rather it was drafting a rookie or veterans like Grady Jarrett as well. Ryan Poles has built something special, and obviously Brian Urlacher saw that. So yes, I definitely agree with the assessment of what Brian Urlacher was trying to say. And once again, it's just hypothetical. We don't know if that's actually the truth because it's a hypothetical scenario, right? But I truly believe that with what Caleb Williams was able to accomplish with Matt Eberflus and Shane Waldron, if he had a Cliff Kingsbury or even Ben Johnson last year as his head coach or even as his OC, Caleb Williams would have probably been in the running for Rookie of the Year. But once again, that's just a hypothetical scenario. So Bears fans, let me know if you agree with Brian Urlacher's comments down below in the comment section, because I definitely do. Before I let you guys go on today's episode of Geek on the Mic, not sure if you guys saw it, but Caleb Williams went to like an open mic thing where he was being interviewed. I think Bryce Young was there as well. Kay Adams was leading it. She was talking about the relationship that he has with Ben Johnson. So I'm going to go ahead and play that clip right here on today's episode of Geek on the Mic. Check this out, Bears fans.
Yeah, I don't want to give you too many details or insight.
Oh, please do.
No, Ben Johnson's great. And it's not just Ben Johnson. We have a young staff / old staff. We have a bunch of experience. A bunch of new energy, provided from the coaches and players and things like that. So, I think it's been awesome. Ben Johnson, he uses some choice words every day towards me, but he's tough, and I love him. He's awesome. It's been great being around him. We hang out in his office, and we just, we have lunch sometimes, things like that. We're just, building this bond and relationship to be able to, last a while. And I know Bears fans, it's year after year typically, or every other year, where the Bears, where coaches and quarterbacks specifically are in and out, and our goal is to be here for a while. So we've been building this bond and relationship, and it's been going well.
Bears fans, I absolutely love this from Caleb Williams. It seems like it's so far so good. The relationship that he's had, or at least building with new head coach Ben Johnson. He mentioned that he's always in Ben Johnson's offense, going over film. He says they've had lunch and dinner together. It seems like that communication is where it needs to be between a offensive head coach and play caller with his quarterback. Obviously, Ben Johnson has all the best interests for Caleb Williams, but the one thing that I really enjoyed what Caleb Williams had to say, and this was actually a clear message to the Bears fans as well. And if you are a Bears fan, you should definitely be pumped up about this. Once again, actions speak louder than words. But Caleb Williams sent a clear message to the Bears fans by saying, hey, we understand that, quarterbacks and head coaches have been in and out of this organization, and they have failed time and time again. But we are doing everything in our power, and you saw it on today's episode of Keek on the Mic. We are doing everything in our power to make sure that we are here for the next 10 plus years and bring a whole lot of success to the city of Chicago. We understand that Bears fans really deserve a winner. They deserve a good quarterback. They deserve a good head coach. And that is just music to my ears. Once again, actions speak louder than words. He still has to put in the work. Obviously, Ben Johnson still has to prove that he can put it all together as not only an offensive play caller, but as a head coach and leader as well. And it seems like so far, so good. When you're hearing the reports out of training camp and OTAs, you're hearing a lot of good things from people watching Ben Johnson, how he operates. So I'm really hoping it works out. Once again, it was music to my ears to hear the relationship between Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson. Seems like it's flourishing day by day. And we're just hoping as Bears fans that this duo can finally be the duo to bring out, to bring the Chicago Bears out of the slump they have been in since 1985. So Bears fans, just want to give you guys those two updates on Brian Urlacher and, of course, Caleb Williams as well. Go ahead and comment your thoughts down below in the comment section. But as always, make sure you guys continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Keek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, be back for our all-new Bears podcast right here on Keek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Keek on the Mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Keek on the Mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Keek on the Mic.